Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about how we made more than $36,000 in our first month of business running our ice cream shop. Today we're going to be sharing about the stories, the highs and the lows of how we got there and the lessons that we have learned throughout the way. Now I know for a lot of big restaurants, $36,000 isn't a lot of money, but for our ice cream shop in the first month in only a 500 square feet location, this was a big deal for us. Now for us to share the experience and insight with you, it has everything to do with the stories and the lessons, has nothing to do with the money figure. So I know a lot of you have been asking me because you guys are on the building out journey. This whole journey is completely lonely. It is so difficult, and I know a lot of you are struggling on the other end, and that's the reason why we shot this video, to tell you that it's completely fine to feel like that, because I too, when we first started out, have gone through the same thing. So that's the reason why we're shooting this video, going into the stories, and hopefully it would show you a little bit more about behind the scenes of what actually happened. Now for some of you that actually want to learn, just skip the story and skip right to the lessons, you can definitely do that. And that's what this video is going to be about. So this whole ice cream shop business and concept started in 2015. Every year I love to bring my parents to travel, and the reason why I want to do that is because as an entrepreneur, a lot of times we're so stuck in our business, we don't get to spend a lot of time with our parents. And this is actually one of the greatest perks as well, is that we get to control the time and our own time, which is the reason why I commit to bringing my parents on traveling every single year. And in 2015, I brought my parents to Korea. And in Korea, they're known for having very innovative desserts. They really focus on the details. They focus on the presentation, the packaging, everything, and it's just super innovative. And that's the reason why I love going to Asia cities, because they're super innovative. So during our travels in Korea at that time, we saw this beautiful concept where smoke was coming out of ice cream, and on this ice cream there was a block of honeycomb, and it just went so well together, and which is the reason why I thought that this was a brilliant idea and concept that we can bring to North America and to Vancouver. Because at that time in Vancouver, we had nothing like that, okay? The dessert scene was much calmer and much more, I guess, boring. So that's the reason why I thought that concept would do exceptionally well in Vancouver. Like any great ideas and entrepreneurs, we see opportunity everywhere. And during this travel, that's where I stumbled upon the concept of smoking ice cream. And I thought that this was gonna be a #1 hit in Vancouver. So during this time, I knew for a fact that I need to find partners for this business, because at the same time, I was running 2 of my other businesses, my entertainment business and my tutoring business. So for me, when we were finding partners, it's all about finding strategic partners, people that actually bring value to the table. And that's the reason why I approached some of my friends, some of my colleagues, and I actually reached out to many different people to find the right partners on board that can actually spearhead this project and really commit their time, efforts, and energy into running this project. And luckily I was able to stumble upon my partner Brian, who is super amazing and super dedicated, and just was up for a challenge at the end of the day. I told him this idea and he was just like, yo, let's get to it, let's get going. We both knew nothing about the ice cream business, but we had the attitude of trying different things out and not taking no for an answer. And that's exactly what we did, and that's exactly how I found my partners and put the team together. So as we start out building this business, the #1 thing and the gimmick, or the concept that really worked, was smoke coming out of the ice cream. And what that meant was actually having an insert that we place in a cup, and underneath the insert would be dry ice and hot water, and then on the insert there are holes on the insert which allows the smoke to come out and to give it the smoking effect of from the ice cream. So for us, I actually flew back to Korea and talked to the people in Korea and the company that actually had this, and was talking to him about, hey, potentially either franchising their business or buying the mold off them or just buying their inserts. Their attitude was so poor. I'm not even kidding you. They thought they were all that. They thought that this design was patented and that they were the #1 guys. He even was about to charge me more than $5,000 just so then I can work with them to buy their inserts. And for every single insert that we buy, we have to pay 25 cents on top of the cost of the insert. So it was just outrageous for us and for us, and I'm like, no, this is not happening. And it just went back and forth to a point where I'm like, you know what, I really don't need these guys. At the end of the day, I can find my own factory to create these inserts for me. I can create my own molds, and that's exactly what we did. I went to find factories that made these molds for us. So we just copied their designs, we tweaked the thing here and there. And then so we created our own molds and start manufacturing these inserts that are suitable for us. And at the end of the day, the cup and the inserts adding together was less than 25 cents. We're talking about like 12 cents, right? So that's exactly what happened. This took us months of going back and forth, and at the end I'm just telling you exactly what happened, because the lesson that was learned here was that don't take no for an answer. Don't let people boss you around just because they think they're all that. That is not usually the case. Just be resourceful and don't take no for an answer, and just go full steam ahead. That's what you need to do when you're dealing with business and when you're dealing with, wanting to create something that you can bring to the market. So after the main component was solved, which was the insert and the cup, we went full steam ahead. We went to lease our location. We went to figure out all the renovations, all the permits, all the ingredients, all the recipes, marketing, and everything. We were full steam ahead, and we were super, super excited. And 2 months before opening, I still remember this very, very day, where my friend sent me an article about how in Vancouver, a shop has just been built with the same exact concept. We're talking about organic, we're talking about the honeycomb, we're talking about the smoke effect. Everything was exactly the same as the concept that we went out to build. And at that time, we were super, super devastated, because we spent months dealing with suppliers. We spent months building this whole concept, and we thought that we were going to be the first one to market. But 2 months prior, everything was printed. A company came out with the same exact concept, same exact branding as we want it to be, and we were just I couldn't even reply to my friend who sent me the article, and that it was just like crazy. And then at that time, I just can't help but think that, did someone rat us out or betrayed us or leaked out this idea? I was like, oh my goodness, it was a very, very difficult time. So I cut my trip short, flew back to Vancouver and met with the team, and I'm like, hey guys, what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do now, guys? So we ended up within 2 months of opening, we rebranded our whole company. We rebranded our whole image. We talked to the designers, we printed new cups. We changed the whole concept of our company because of the fact that we wanted that first. We don't want to be known as a company that copies another company, because if you position that way, you're gonna lose all the strength that you have, and you're not gonna be unique to you. So that's the reason why we went ahead and we changed everything, all the concepts and everything. We retained the smoking ice cream factor, but the whole branding, the whole organic feel and organic focus, we changed all of that within 2 months of opening. It was a lot of work, and it was a nightmare time for us, for sure. But looking back in hindsight, I'm so glad we changed the concept, and we changed the way that we are building this brand, because at that time we were really short-sighted. We were thinking about creating an ice cream that was only gonna be working with the honeycomb, but not as a bigger brand, as a dessert brand that's gonna that allows us to push out more different products moving forward. So that's the reason why we're super glad that this happened to us. Now we're, instead of calling us Honey 720, we're now called 720 Sweets. So it's a little bit more generic. We can house a lot more products under this brand, and it still works. As the days went on, we were not ready to open. We delayed our process week after week after week, and at the end of the day, my staff hated us. The reason why they hated us was because they were completely not ready to open their store, but we forced them to open it. They're like, hey Wilson, we're not ready. We don't even have a tilt. and I told them to use cups. Hey Wilson, we're not ready. We don't even have a float. I took out $200. I'm like, open now. And I'm so glad that we opened, because on the first day that we opened, a few bloggers came by the doors, came and tried our product and posted it online. And since then, our shop, I think, was the #1 shop in the dessert chain that actually was feeling the full benefit of influencer marketing, because since then we were having a lineup day after day after day after day, and we were packed for 6 months straight. Okay, so it was some crazy thing that happened, and at the end of the day, that's also another lesson that we've learned, was that you're never going to be ready. You just got to do it. You just got to make things work, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be open when you're ready, then you're always going to delay that process. There are always things that you can improve on. So at the end of the day, as long as you have your bare bone minimums, just open the doors and people will understand. This whole journey has been such an amazing experience. And I mean, like, I have the utmost respect for food and beverage owners and restaurateurs, because out of all the different businesses that I've run, this has got to be the most difficult. And the reason why is because you gotta be there like every single day, 24/7. There's always things that you need to be there to fix, to deal with, to have the operation fine-tuned. And at the end of the day, the reward is nowhere close to any other businesses that I was running at the time. But at the end of the day, it really gives you the grit. It gives you the determination. It helps you build that, and it helps you build that commitment that you need to have to see things through. So I mean, this business has taught me so much, and I'm just so thankful that this has happened to us, because it allowed the whole team to build this character that's gonna help us to build our next business and make it a lot more successful. And partly these are the traits that makes for a successful entrepreneur. And today we're gonna be sharing with you some of the lessons that I've learned throughout this whole journey. Are you guys ready? Now let's dive right in. The #1 lesson that I've learned throughout this whole process is that you're never ever gonna be ready. For us, we had no business in the ice cream business at all. We had no experience whatsoever, but we just know the fact that we had a thirst, we had a concept, and all we had was a determination and the belief that we can make it work. And that's the reason why we took it one step at a time. We learned all the processes, we learned the trade from ground zero. At the end of the day, you're never ever gonna be ready. And if you are gonna be waiting until you're ready before you take action, nothing's ever gonna happen. If we waited until 2-3 weeks later before we opened the doors, we would have never met the influencer, and our business wouldn't have blown up. We wouldn't have been able to expand to West Edmonton, let alone to Beijing and internationally. It is all a learning process, and we don't know any better at all. Even when during our expansion to China, we had no clue what we were doing. But at the end of the day, we know for a fact that we wanted to learn, that everything will work out, and that we believed in ourselves. So for you on the other side of the camera, if you're thinking about starting, if you're thinking about taking that step, taking that leap, this is the time to do it. Believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, you're never ever gonna be ready. One book that helped me out a ton is The Lean Startup. It taught me exactly what we need to do, and it just allowed me to understand that as long as we had a concept that we push out to the market, we can always reiterate, and it really helped me throughout this process. If you want to buy it from the link below, I already attached the link, so that's a really good resource for you. Lesson #2 is that you'll never have enough time or money. When we first started this whole project, 720 Sweets, I was running 2 businesses at the same time, and I was still trying to build this business, and it was super difficult because of the fact that we just don't have time. And it was super difficult, and for us, we just needed to learn how to delegate. We needed to learn how to buy back time and see the value in actually delegating and actually hiring professionals and people that has been there, done that, and people who are experienced, because we need to be able to recognize what it's going to actually cost us by not doing this, what it's going to cost us by not listening to professionals who tell you things that they have been through. And the reason why this is super important is because it's going to save you so much time, money, and energy. The mistakes that you're going to make, for example, buying wrong equipment. Now, if you buy a wrong equipment for, let's say, $10,000, $20,000, Now that's money that you've wasted. Even if you can sell it back out, there's a depreciation value and also opportunity costs, so on and so forth. So if you have a chance, look for consultations that can actually shortcut your time and your resources to success. Those investments are very, very important. So if you don't have time, guys, buy time. If you don't have the expertise, buy the expertise. In the long run, in the trajectory of your business, this is going to save you so much more time and money. I know it's super counterintuitive, but that's what it takes. And for us, we got into so many mistakes throughout this whole process. We bought 2 wrong machines because we didn't listen to our consultant. We were running different marketing campaigns because of the fact that we weren't listening to one of our marketing consultants as well. So at the end of the day, the whole point is that you're never gonna have enough time or money. So the trick to this, and it's counterintuitive, I know, is to buy back the time, buy back the money and the mistakes that you're actually going to spend. Another resource that I'm going to share with you is this book by Michael Gerber called E-Myth Revisited. This book completely changed my life. It changed my life in so many ways because it taught me how to build a proper business. It taught me how to build processes, and this is a book that I truly, truly recommend to you. I've included the link in the section below. Download this book, or buy this book, because it is super, super effective if you're trying to build a business from the ground up. Now, the third lesson that we've learned is to know who to hire. There's a difference between a consultant and a practitioner. And the difference is that a consultant has no clue in terms of the real life experience. Their business is in teaching you how to run your business better, but they're not in the trenches. They're not in it day in, day out to experience through the hardships, experience through all the pain points, experience through basically how it works in real life. Whereas a practitioner is going through that day in, day out. They know exactly what's going on, and they can point out to you what is the shortcut, what not to do and what to do in order for you to be one step closer to your goal, closer to actually being able to build a successful business that you can take time off of. For us, we actually spent tens of thousands of dollars hiring consultants that were actually supposedly to help us build our business. And as you can see, these are the things that they were giving us. These are very theory-based things. And did it really make a difference in our business? Yes and no. Was it super effective? No, it was not as effective as it would have been because of the fact that it was just so theory-based. And that's the reason why we hired a practitioner, people that have been there, done that, and actually experiencing it day in, day out. And it made such a huge difference because they know exactly what is going on in the business. Another resource that I want to share with you are 2 books that are super insightful. The first book is called Grinding It Out by Ray. It talks about how he built McDonald's. It's super, super inspiring and insightful. The second book is by Howard called Pouring Your Heart Into It, and that talks about his journey in building Starbucks. These 2 books are super insightful, super inspirational, and it really comes from the horse's mouth. So that's the reason why I find it as a really good resource when we are in this stage of the business, when you're trying to look for help and people that have been there and done that. Once again, the link is in the comment section below, in the description below, so you can just go and purchase these books. Super insightful. I highly, highly recommend you guys check out these books. I really hope that this video has helped you. All in all, this whole journey is super lonesome. It is super difficult, and a lot of times when you're starting out, it is just super lonely, and you think that no one really understands what you're going through. And that's precisely why I shot this video, because just want to tell you a little bit more about what we have been through. I know we haven't even scratched the surface of all the crazy things that have happened, but I've shared with you the main things and basically the journey as in a nutshell, and basically the 3 lessons that we have learned throughout the way. So hopefully you understand that, hey, you know what? Someone else actually has been through that and actually understands, and that you're not alone. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if it actually made an impact to you and you can actually connect to it, leave us a comment below, and subscribe for more tactical information and more tactical videos in the future. I'll see